The man had just returned from a military campaign. Longing to share an intimate moment with his wife, he suddenly noticed that her usual pear blossom fragrance was now mixed with the scent of incense. Just days before he left for the campaign, the smell of meat would make his wife nauseous, and she would start vomiting. Yet today, she was eating roasted mutton with great relish. So the man immediately called the royal physician to examine his wife. The royal physician's diagnosis revealed that the woman's pulse was calm and regular, with no signs of pregnancy whatsoever. The man pressed further, asking whether the physician was absolutely certain that his wife had never been pregnant. Terrified, the physician swore on his own life as he answered. The man had no idea whatsoever that his wife and her older sister were identical twins, because from birth, the younger sister had always been quiet and introverted. So the family had considered the younger sister an omen of misfortune and handed her over to an old midwife to be raised. Unexpectedly, the older sister, who possessed captivating beauty, had been chosen by the 5 great families to be offered to the fearsome god of war. Terrified at the thought that marrying the god of war would mean enduring endless torment, the older sister wept and begged her biased mother to find a way to save her. Finally, the biased mother devised a plan to have the younger twin sister married to the god of war in the older sister's place. To everyone's surprise, after this swapped marriage, instead of being mistreated, the younger sister was showered with love and care and placed right in the palm of the man's hand. Then the older sister foolishly concluded that the rumors about the man being cruel and bloodthirsty were merely hearsay, and jealousy slowly ate away at the older sister's sanity. Taking advantage of the man leading his army to war, the older sister used their mother's supposed longing for her daughter as an excuse to call the younger sister back to her parents' home. The older sister then ruthlessly murdered the younger sister and buried the body beneath a pear tree in the backyard. The older sister then assumed the younger sister's identity and returned to the man's side. Years ago, when the younger sister was still just a child, the man's entire family had been slaughtered by the 5 great families. As a result, when the man first encountered the woman sent to atone for those sins, he felt nothing but hatred and suspicion. It was the younger sister herself who, following the old midwife's advice, gently dissolved the man's hostility and gradually calmed his fierce nature. After death, the younger sister transformed into a spirit and quietly began waiting to watch the older sister reap the bitter fruits of her own actions. The older sister had no idea whatsoever just how deeply suspicious the man truly was. Indeed, it was that single extra trace of incense on the older sister's body that tipped the man off that something was wrong, which brought us right back to the opening scene. Hearing that his wife had visited her sick mother a few days earlier, the man offered to take her to her parents' home himself the next day to find out the truth. Along the road to the family estate, the man noticed that the vermilion birthmark behind his wife's ear had vanished. The man immediately flew into a terrible rage, and gripping his wife's chin tightly, he demanded to know where the vermilion birthmark behind her ear had gone. Panicking and trying to hide the truth, the older sister claimed that the birthmark had looked ugly a few days ago, so she had a doctor remove it. Seeing the man pacing in that very courtyard where the body was buried, the father-in-law panicked and tried to get him away from there. The moment the man stepped on that soil where the woman was buried, the father-in-law collapsed to the ground in extreme terror. Trembling, the father-in-law said that the courtyard would actually insult the man's dignity.